Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning into your general read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. Supportive oracle cards will be by The Wisdom of the House of Night. And in the back here is who it's by. If you look it up online, though, you can easily find who it's from. And I believe Amazon still sells the deck. I do want this. I want one. Well, we got that there. That's it. Beginning to end. Okay. Stop. Taurus. They're all face down. We're having a face down moment here. That's interesting. I mean, Capricorn had a bit too with the face down. And I feel like this is similar. Like you have to handle this as it comes towards you and just do your best to deal with it as the situation unfolds. Okay. So what you're starting with is beauty. This is a good card. It's a very beautiful card in my opinion. What I'm feeling with this is as you're getting involved or have been involved, maybe this is something that's been going on for a while, you're comfortable. You're happy. Things are on point. Things are as expected. I'm not saying it's like the perfect day feeling, but what's happening you're expecting. Like, it's not completely like the perfect moment, but like the downfalls are things that you're expecting. You know how to handle those things. You're comfortable. Beauty is making me feel like you're very comfortable and you're liking it more than you're not liking it. I still don't feel like it's perfect. Whatever the situation is, it's not perfect, but you're used to it. You're like, this is rational. This is how this should go. This makes sense to me. Now, we got this part all seems to be coming in at once. Now, you're doing your best to keep things the same. And you got the Three of Cups here. The situation is not ideal. I'm still getting that. But you're like, but we know how to handle it. We know what to expect. There's a lot more good than not. And you're comfortable. I'm getting very comfortable and very happy with what you're comfortable with. I know how to handle this. Yeah, this over here is not so good, but I know what to do with that, and we can successfully navigate through that. I know how to keep that where it needs to be. We can keep this negativity contained. I feel like that's what we're going for. You're addressing it. You're like, yeah, this isn't so good over here. Yeah, I get that, but I know how to handle it. I can keep it contained. If we keep things where it is, the way they are, I can keep this contained. I can keep this under control. It's not going to overpower anything. Again, everything is not, peachy perfect, whatever you want to say. But you're like, but I know what's happening. I know how to deal with it. I know how to keep it contained. So it's good. You're comfortable. You're happy with it because you have it down. You know what to do. Other people, see, when I'm seeing this Three of Cups and what's coming next, other people are like, no. We need to make this a little better. This over here is not that great. We should fix this. We should work on this. And I feel like what you're saying is like if we start messing with that, it's gonna change how the rest of this is going. We can't just do that one piece. It's gonna affect everything. And right now we know how that works. And it's keeping it okay. Like we don't have any extra worries. If we start messing with that, we could have extra problems. This could throw everything else off. And I feel like you're talking with other people like, no, let's leave it where it is. Let's leave it be. Let's let it stay where it is. That way the majority of the situation goes very well. The majority of it is good and positive. Yes, I agree. This isn't good over here. This over here, we don't like this. But if we start messing with it, we take the risk of the rest of this going offline or becoming bad or getting worse. Let's keep it the way it is. Let's not mess with it. And I feel you coming in with that. And I see you holding it that way. You got the King of Cups. Like, no, everybody's like, this is working out. This is okay the way it is. Other people or somebody else is like, no. Somebody else is really unhappy. Like, whatever the negativity is, they're like, no, they can't. This is not good. This is not acceptable. And it's really bothering somebody. I feel like this is going to come more into play as time goes on. But for the time being, you seem to win out. You're keeping things the same. You know how to handle them. You're keeping the negativity under control. You know what it is. You know how to handle it. But this energy is gonna get stronger, is what I'm getting. Somebody's not happy, if not one, maybe more than one. Not accepting this. We're not going to just allow the negativity to fester. Is kind of the feeling I'm getting here. You don't want to change things. They're like, no, it's going to get worse. They seem to feel like it's not going to get better. It's just going to get worse, and it needs to be handled. Now, what's coming in next is the King of Swords between you and whoever this is. Another conversation will come forward. Somebody is very strong with this, kind of like, no, we can't just allow that negativity to keep festering. We can't allow it to just kind of linger there. Because it's just, I feel like somebody else is saying that's not right. Allowing it to be what it is, allowing it to just continue on just because we have control of it is not acceptable. It needs to be addressed. It needs to be corrected. And there's another conversation. This is like the second, or at least in this situation, as I'm reading, it's the second time it's coming forward. They're coming forward very strongly, and they're having a very deep conversation like, no, we can't let this keep going. I'm trying to flip over these last one. Okay. I was expecting this is how this was going to go, but still. That card on your side is interesting. People are not backing down. People are not backing down. You're kind of like, but it's under control. It's not going to get any worse if we just leave it there. Don't make it any worse. We know how to handle it. We just keep handling it the same way. It doesn't get worse. And it doesn't affect all this other stuff that is good. And I feel like that's your standing. Like, we don't want to make this any worse. And I feel other people are coming forward. Like, first the King of Swords shows up. And then the Ace of Swords comes up after that. Like, they're not backing down. That next conversation, that's where it starts, but it keeps going. They're not backing down. They're demanding a change happens here. They're demanding things go differently. Like, the Ace of Swords happening after the King of Swords is telling me that conversation is spurring people to action. They're not backing down. They're continuing. They're keeping at you. They're like, no, I'm not going to back down. And they just keep harping at you, and they keep harping at you, and they keep harping at you. This is the card on your side, differences. And I feel like this is the whole point of this reading. I feel like if this reading is hitting with you, if this is making sense to you, if it's clicking in with you, what they want for you is to accept right off the bat, this is not going to just stay this way. You don't have to accept the change right off the bat, but just start getting into the energy where this is not going to stay the same way, and you're going to have to start finding a way that you think is acceptable for a change to come into play. You're not going to want it, is what I'm getting. First off, you're not going to want it. But they're saying if you start just going through the thoughts, or just accepting that a change is coming, you'll get more into a position where you could actually direct the energy and have more success about handling this negativity, whatever it is. You'll have more strength and more, I don't know, you'll be able to get this more, I just feel like this is better for you, but there's something else here I'm not quite clicking on. Because what they're saying is you're not going to get around this. It's going to have to change. And the sooner you start thinking about, all right, this is going to change, or you start realizing it will change at some point, it just seems to put you more in a position of power. Like when people are pushing and pushing and pushing, when it gets to this point, if it goes the way it looks here, they're going to be more animate to really put a lot of pressure. They want quicker change, faster change. If you accept it more in the beginning, it can be more drawn out, I guess you could say, or there's more time for you to negotiate things, so that not everything might have to be changed, and you might have more of an ability to keep the good the way it is. I'm feeling like if you accept it in the beginning, you have more control, and you can keep things in better perspective. It seems to be more keeping it where it goes. You know what I mean? I'm saying it to a camera. There's something I want to say here, and I'm not hitting it, and I know I'm not hitting it. Because a change will happen, and it will happen. But if you're on point with it in the beginning, you have more control, and this can go easier. But you seem to be able to set the pace. That's what I want. You can set the pace. If you accept it in the beginning, the pace of the change you will be able to set. Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The differences popping up later. Change is going to happen. You're not going to want it. But if you accept that change is coming in the beginning, you have more control over the pace. And that can make the biggest difference. Because if you can make this at a pace that you're happy with, as it changes, if the negativity starts to go out of balance or gets a little bit too much, you'll be able to, like, you know, grab it and put it back in line and put it back where it needs to go. If the pace is more to your liking, to you being able to set that pace, I just don't feel like the negativity will get out of control. If it goes the other way, it's kind of like a coin toss. It may or may not. Because the last card you got here is the Two of Wands. A choice is going to have to be made. And I feel like if it goes the way it's naturally coming in, it's going to be a left-right. It's like you're going to come to the fork in the road, you go left, you go right. If it goes with you accepting the change right in the beginning, it's kind of like, I feel like you're slowly veering left or you're slowly veering right, but you're deciding as you go. It goes a lot easier. You have more control, you're setting the pace. It's almost like you know that you're coming up to this fork in the road, but it's like instead of going 30 miles an hour, you're like, well, let's go 10 miles an hour. And people are agreeing with that because you're accepting the change. So you're not going 30 miles an hour, you're going 10 miles an hour, and you're like, this gives me a lot more time to decide what we should do and handle this better. But on the other hand, if it just goes like it's naturally going to go, it's like you're going 30 miles an hour. The King of Swords moment happens where people are like, no, this isn't going to work. And it's like you're getting up to 60, 65, 70, and it's just that's how it's feeling to you. Like you're being rushed towards a decision. Something's going to happen. You're going to have to make a quick decision left or right, and you're not happy. That's the difference. I really hope I'm giving that fair credit. I hope this is coming across correctly. Because I know Taurus is very, very, very dependable, which is its gift. That's the gift of Taurus, in my opinion, being very dependable. And you'll do what you need to do, granted, but this can be not only better for you, but for everybody. This can be better if you're able to accept that change in the beginning, because you'll be able to handle this better, the pace will go better, everything for everybody will go better. If it goes the other way, I just feel like the pace is being taken right out of your hand, you're not being allowed to set the pace, it's very uncomfortable, and things just have to happen the way they have to happen. So make this easier on yourself. By making it easier on yourself, it's best for everybody, including you, of course. But everybody, gets through this a lot better. All right, I think that's there. All right, I'm going to wrap that up there. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.